All right, people, today I'm going to do a deep dive into the weighing scale obsession. Why is this number so important to us? Why do we keep weighing ourselves multiple times during the day? Why does it affect our mood so much that, when we see a number that we want to see on the scale, we're happy. And when it's not the number that we want to see, our entire day is screwed, right? Let's do a deep dive, and this is going to be like section by section. Some of it may get a little technical because I'm really trying to understand the root of the problem. First, why the weighing scale? Let's understand the practicality of it. Okay, this has a universal appeal, which means that there are other ways, obviously, to measure the shape and the size and how much mass you occupy on this planet. That's essentially what your weight is. But these procedures and these equipment like hydrostatic weighing, right, or a bod pod or a DEXA scan or fat calipers, very difficult to use. It may not, a house may not have a bod pod, but a house will have a weighing scale. You have a weighing scale at the damn railway station where there's no proper hygiene or drinking water. So you understand the universal applicability of it. An athlete might go for a DEXA scan, but a normal layman would not. So the weighing scale, because it has universal applicability. What does the weighing scale measure? It measures your weight. Why is your weight important? Let's look at it from an overarching perspective. Okay, society has laid down certain parameters that governs whether a person is beautiful or handsome or physically appealing or not. There are certain factors that if you match, your physical appearance is automatically worth noticing. The first thing on that list is your weight. Now you have to be between a certain weight range. You can't be too thin, bombil machli nahi lagne ka, and you can't be too fat, hathi ka bachcha nahi lagne ka, then you're not pretty. The second thing is your skin color. Now this has regional connotation, like for instance in India and by extension the subcontinent, people are still reeling in the colonial hangover, and which means they still lust after the Eurocentric standards of beauty. Light skin, aquiline nose, tinier waist. European women would wear corsets, right? Light colored eyes. So it depends on the region that you're in. Your skin color depends on the region that you're in. Height, again, more prominent for men than women. It could also be because I think the average Indian height for women is like 5'3", so you can just, it's not that big a deal for women. Then you have like no scars, no marks on your body, right? Disabilities. These are the 5 components that decide. It is implied that it will decide if you're pretty or not. So weight is one of the most important components, right? What does the weighing scale measure? Your weight. This is the crux of the video. Okay, I want to talk about the entire gamut of physical appearance and why is it so important, especially for women. Women are primarily judged for the physical appearance. There's a George Washington University study that says that obese people are paid less, obese women even lesser. It has something to do with social interactions. Like according to the findings, the prettier you are, the more positively it impacts social interactions. And this is confirmed by another research done at the University of Lords by sociologists who conducted that women in different age groups, and what is it that mostly obsess about, right? Funny thing, women who are in the age group of 63 to 80, they obsess about their looks. Like they are constantly thinking about the physical appearance. I think that's the trend. All right, so why has this been the case so far? You have to understand that every thought, our mindset, every belief that we have today is not ours. When we were born, we had a clean slate. We had no memory, we had no notion, we had no ideologies. Over a period of time, things that we read, things that we saw, things that we were exposed to, the cultural connotations, the religious beliefs, and the mindset of the ecosystem that we stay in has shaped us to be who we are, has shaped our beliefs, has shaped our mindset. And putting emphasis and worth on a woman's physical appearance first is a product of all of this conditioning. Let's just, for example, let's just take cultural connotation, right? As Indians, we are, like I said, we're still reeling in the colonial hangover. I mean, when we were ruled by the British and these European women would come to India, that was the standard of beauty. That was aspirational for us. That was unattainable for us. And that mindset has been passed on through generations. But there are caveats, right? So you say that women are primarily judged for the physical appearance. There's this Nigerian tribe, I think it's called the Wudabi tribe, where men are judged for the beauty. In fact, they have like this full-blown beauty pageant / swayamvar. I think it's called the Girewal. And they go and display themselves and women get to choose who they want to take as a husband or boyfriend or whatever, however that works. So there are caveats to everything. Like the cultural connotation plays a very, very important role. The generational mindset, okay, the what your parents, what their parents before them considered pretty is still passed on to us, whether directly or indirectly, right? Suppose you're sitting watching TV with your parents, right, and suddenly this actress comes on screen, and suddenly they're like, they say in a very offhanded manner, oh, this one's looking so pretty now, no, she's lost so much weight, huh? You pick a classified ad, even till date, fair slim bride wanted. It is what it is. But this conditioning is not just a cultural conditioning, it's also a very intentional conditioning. The beauty industry today is a $163.5 billion industry. For an industry of that magnitude to survive, you think they're not going to market it that way? You think they're not going to make you feel that you will be loved, you'll be successful, you'll be accepted, you'll be worthy if you use these products? And what are these products doing? They're targeting your insecurities, right? They are somehow reinforcing that what you consider as an insecurity, for instance, being brown, being fat, that is the reason why you're not loved, that is the reason why you're not successful. And when you look at it from a holistic, complete perspective, you are subjected to the fact that, with studies showing that obese women get paid lesser. I have faced it, dude. I have faced this. When I joined this new job and people saw my before pictures, right? I had the hiring person say that, dude, if you were this fat, we wouldn't have hired you. Well, I said, why would you say that? I was like, no, we're not fat people are very lazy. That's kind of the connotation that they have. I don't know. I know that physical appearance affects social interactions, but that's shitty. And okay, on the flip side, years later, I think a couple of years back when I was applying for another job, um, the CEO, the the CEO asked me, then Mama, I know I'm sure you're very good at your work, but are you quoting this higher salary because of how pretty you are? I said, I don't want to dignify that with a response, and I definitely do not want to work here. So these intentional connotations, as well as the cultural connotations, as well as the offhanded connotations, this makes up for how a woman feels about her physical appearance and how that correlates with her worth. But now at this point of time, you're like, oh, Mara, that's not true. You look around, dude. Like women are leading empires and they're CEOs and they're doing so well in sports and they're like pioneering. They're like inventing. They're absolutely, and it's such a pleasant thing to see women actually stepping into power. But it's not a new age thing. You turn back through the pages of history. I mean, barring the religious connotation, the Prophet, peace be upon him, his first wife, Khadija Razina Tala, was a fantastic entrepreneur. Rosa Parks became the face of civil rights movement. Lady Ada Lovelace. STEM before STEM was Marie Curie. She pioneered research in radioactivity. Dude, Rani Jhansi Bai. There are women who've been creating history. There are women who've been defying societal norms and coming into the power. The thing is that now these women are not too far and too few in between. We are rising in hordes. A lot has changed, right? We're stepping into our power, we're understanding our worth, we're bringing more to the table. We've always brought more to the table. We're just like very adamant about bringing it and highlighting those. But the problem here is that it's still a very proactive, conscious shift. We have to do it consciously. We have to fight against the tide and then, be like, hey, I'm worth more than what I look. While it's a good shift, subconsciously we're still not there. So where we are at this juncture, I believe, is that while we are proactively trying to shift the mindset, somewhere we're still reeling in that interest subconscious mindset that a physical appearance is more important. But hey, you know what? I'm going to go against this idea and I'm going to make sure that my worth is seen in all areas. I mean, take for instance, the study at the University of Lords where it says that women between the age of 63 and 80, they're obsessing over their looks. And because all their lives, their worth has been tied to their physical appearance. And with age, right, you're obviously you're not going to have that youthful growth. You're not going to have that body of like a 17-year-old. So you're constantly doubting yourself, am I worthy enough? Because I don't look like that. Let me give you an example, right? I was talking to an older woman recently. She's a very good friend of mine. And I was telling about this Eve teasing incident. And I told her that ever since I moved back to Calcutta, I mean, like I'm getting Eve teased a lot, dude. Like, what's up with the city anymore? And what happened was that I was coming back from the gym and I feed the dogs on my way. And there were these four boys, pretty young boys, I think 17, 18. And one of the boys started recording me, right? And the other boy, I could hear him talking about my ass. So I was telling about, by the way, I took the boy's phone and I broke it. I think I just banged it on the floor. Anyway, so I was telling her about this episode and I was like, dude, why is this happening so much? She told me two things. She's like, when you were in Calcutta earlier, you were really fat. So people didn't think it was probably worthy enough. I won't say worthy enough, but people didn't really think to eve tease you at that point of time. And then she said, and Mama, I wish it may sound stupid, but a part of me miss being eve teased. And dude, I was like taken aback. I was like, oh, what the fuck do you even mean by that? But then I thought about it, right? Because she's holding on to the idea of being appreciated for her physical beauty so much that even objectification, like eve teasing, feels like appreciation. It's that deeply wired into us, you know. So that's the problem. It's a subconscious belief that will take years to change, and it's fine. I think that's something that we have to make a peace with, because anything that changes on a subconscious level takes a lot of time. So the evolution theory of natural selection just highlights a few things. I'm just going to like very briefly touch upon it. The whole idea of the natural selection is to procreate, and is to leave behind a genetic legacy. That's it. That is the entire idea. So when men choose women, they will usually go for women who are younger looking, right? Like rosy cheeks, healthy looking, healthy hair, healthy nails, the waist to hip ratio, because all that indicates fertility, right? When women choose men, men were always seen as the providers. They choose them for the strength, they choose them for the success, because that means that man is going to take care of the woman and the family when the dinosaur attacks. Okay, and that's that's saying that men are judged for the money. The reason why men are judged for the money, because money is seen as a source of provision. Like if he's richer, he's going to provide, he's going to take care. So that is the whole idea of the evolution theory that Charles Darwin had proposed. You're probably like, dude, we started with weighing scale obsession and now we fucking on to Darwin. Here's the thing. The reason I am really delving deeper into this is because I don't want you to, I don't, and I do this with all my clients. I really don't want you to think that you just woke up one day and decided to be obsessed with the scale. There's a lot of back end stuff that's happening, or back end conditioning that's happening, that has led you to being obsessed with the scale. All right. All right, I'm going to quickly just make the connection again. So the weighing scale measures your weight. Weight is an important part of your physical appearance. Physical appearance is an important part of your self-worth. Since you cannot put a number on your self-worth, right? If I ask you, what is your self-worth? You're like, what the fuck do I know? I don't know what my self-worth is. But you can put a number on weight. So this number is indirectly signifying what number should be put to your physical appearance, right? And that number is again indirectly signifying what number you can put to your self-worth. That is the reason why this obsession with the weighing scale. You're indirectly measuring your self-worth with that number on the scale. All right, so we've made the connection of how your weighing scale is a way to measure your self-worth. But what can you do? How can you change that? Right? In a diagram, right? Your self-worth is contingent upon a lot of things. Physical appearance is one of those. Let's come to physical appearance. Okay, since it's not going anywhere, there's a lot of external and internal theories and stimuli that affect how we feel about our physical appearance and hence our self-worth. Let's flip that on the point. I want you to find things that about your physical appearance that you like. Okay, write it down. I think I have amazing hair, I have a beautiful smile, I have amazing eyes, I have fantastic legs, I have hair free skin, whatever. Even if it sounds superficial, put it under the list. The second thing is, find things that has nothing to do with your physical appearance, right? Your characteristic traits. I'm compassionate, I'm kind, I listen to people when they talk, I have empathy, I try to be there for people, I have boundaries, things that you appreciate about yourself, right? And then you have that list of non-physical appearance related things. Then you have a list of accomplishments. I was a sportsman in school. I did well in academics, I have a fantastic job. Then you think about relationships that you have. I'm a good friend, I'm a good sister, I'm a good daughter, I'm a good partner. The reason I'm asking you to make a very comprehensive list is that so that you see for yourself and you write it down and you see that, dude, my self-worth is not just related to one area of my life. My self-worth is related to all these areas, right? Your skills, your characteristic traits, the kind of relationships you nurture, everything. And that is what makes you you. Physical appearance is one part of your self-worth. It's not the only part. And while you're doing this exercise, I will also suggest write about things that you want to improve upon. For instance, I want to improve upon my reactiveness, right? So if I get angry, I react very volatile and I react very quickly. I want to work on that. I've been trying to work on that since a couple of years, and I think I'm getting there. It's a process. It's going to take time. Anyway, this is for me. So when you write about things that are the areas that you need to improve upon, you have an idea of what you need to work on to become more holistically and more comprehensively evolved, right? And it will just boost your self worth further and further. By the way, there's nothing wrong with you the way you are right now. Unconditional self worth, that feeling that you're worthy enough, you have to cultivate it. You have to forgive yourself for the past mistakes that you've made. You're not the person that you were. You've proactively chosen to work on it. You've proactively chosen to change yourself. And that's a fantastic move, right? That awareness, that evolution is a fantastic move. So please spend as much time on cultivating your self-worth as you do on other things. And hope this video really helped you in understanding why we attach so much importance to the number on the scale when it comes to our self-worth. And if you have any questions, any opinions, please let me know. And yeah, okay.